again.
You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised.
We give you all the glory.
We give you all the glory. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised.
We give you all the glory.
We give you all the glory.
We worship you.
We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised.
Sing, you are Alpha and Omega.
You are Alpha and Omega. We worship you, our Lord. You are worthy to be praised.
We give you all, we give you all, we give you all.
We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give you all. We give
you all.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. It's now 15 minutes. Yeah, wow. 15 minutes already after the hour of 8 o'clock. And we are live on We Noise Radio out there in beautiful Brooklyn. Good night to you, Wade. Good night to Lady Fran and the entire squad out there on We Noise Radio in Brooklyn. Also online. You can find them online, the Apple device, all kind of thing. You're finding Noise Radio all over the place, right? Great. Also, we are live via Real 91.9, 91.5 FM. Good night to you, Andre Donald, the entire staff up there at Real 91.5. Folks down in the south of the island, you'd get them properly on 91.5. Those of you in the north and so on, and St. Andrew and so, you may get them better on 91.9. And we know we've also got all of you in the Grenadine Islands, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, Canouan, Union Island, all of you out there listening to Talking Points tonight. We want to say a special good night to each and every one of you. You know, before I start tonight's program, I feel like changing the type of music. I think I want to play a tune before I start tonight. Yeah, I feel I want to play a couple tune before. I know I will get flagged, but let me play a couple tune before I go through tonight, man. Yeah. And even those of you who do not support the new National Party but religiously listen to Talking Points on a nightly basis, we want to say a special good night and welcome to each and every one of you. And to the YouTube audience, a special good night to all of you. Can't go down the list tonight. Neither can I do so on the Facebook, but just saying a special glorious Grenadian good night to each and every one of you. And hey, yeah, several things to speak about tonight. But first of all, just want to congratulate each and every one of you first that turned out to last week Thursday's zonal meeting. Yes, that's, well, I wonder if you could call it a zonal meeting and not like a rally, papayo. Papayo. Drum beating, shell blowing, people dancing, all kind of thing. So those of you that turned out to the quote-unquote zonal meeting, that was a rally. But anyway, the zonal meeting that took place at the St. Andrew Anglican Secondary School out there in St. Andrew last week, Thursday. Want to congratulate each and every one of you. That's the energy. Keep it going. You understand? Die where you want. Keep that kind of energy going. All right? Beautiful. So I want to congratulate all of you. Also, those of you who turned out yesterday to the Elevate. Yes, the Elevate function held by the Youth Arm. And I have to congratulate the members of the new National Party Youth Arm for the excellent organization in putting this activity together. And to all the young people that came out in their numbers by the busloads that came out to yesterday's activity, want to congratulate each and every one of you. You're sure? Because even there, you had some saying that how people get called, people they knew got called and got warned that if they see them in Elevate, if they see them around the NNP thing, that they're going to fire them or they're going to discipline them. In one instance, as I was mentioning last week, they told one young man, if he go to, they seen him in the zonals, but if he go to that one, don't bother come back to work. Like government work is theirs. So don't come back to, I mean, I've known in the past, individuals who were on the executive of the youth arm of the NDC and working with government. Dr. Mitchell and the NNP didn't say get rid of them. You had people... There's one particular person, I won't call their name, but I know that person was working with a particular organization that was closely aligned to the new National Party, and at the point in time, there was one, the deputy leader, the youth arm of the NDC. So you have a situation now where young people are being told, don't go out and do, but that's nothing, you know. Let me warn the people that are telling them that. One, I tell them young people to tape all you and bring it. Tape all you and bring it, because that is intimidation. That is against their constitutional rights. So tape them, young people, when they come to all you and they're saying that, are saying it loud and clear, tape them. Take out your mobile device, tape what they're saying to you. If they send it in a message, screenshot it. Get it to me. And when you come to the activity, if there's any fallout, any attempt to discipline you for coming to the activity, any attempt to try to fire you from your job because you've come to an NNP activity, tell me. There are lawyers standing by. You know when they're doing some of them commercials and they say they want you to buy something, they say, we've got people standing by at the phone lines. Right. We've got lawyers standing by. Let them try to tell you. And the person who's doing it, we are going to make them take personal responsibility for interfering with you. So tape them. Tape them. When they come on, and you see they go to you and they tell you, look, make sure, this person distracted me. Yeah. When they come to you and they say, if you're going to NNP things, this and that will happen to you, you must have your evidence. So either they put it in writing, tell them put it in writing, and give me the writing. Give me what they send to you. Or tape them. Take your mobile. I'm telling you, young people. And those of you that are listening, tell your children and your grandchildren who are so being approached. Tell your children and your grandchildren who are being approached. And folks, let me see all you hit the like button and share the program, yeah? Tell the young people, your grandchildren, your children, your brothers, your sisters, who are being told by the wicked people, don't go to this activity because we're going to fire you and we're going to do you this and we're going to do you that. Make sure and get the evidence. Saying it is one thing, but you'd recognize with talking points, we just play it too. So we ain't going to play it here, you know. It go play in court because that's where they're going. So if they want to end up in court, let them continue telling you all. If you go in an NP activity, this go up, man. You have a constitutional right to attend whichever activity you want to attend. Yeah, it's an open activity. You have a constitutional right to attend it, if you so desire. So let them come back and tell all of that again. Tape them. Give me. Let me have it in safekeeping. So anytime they try something, we have the evidence. Yeah? Tape them. And you don't have to hand over your device to them for nothing. After they talk to you and they come and they try, you don't have to hand over no device to them. There's no law in Grenada that says you have to do that. You don't have to hand over no device to them. Tape them and give it. Yeah? So to those young people that turned out in their numbers yesterday, I want to congratulate you. The organizers, all of you that came and supported the young people. Yeah? I want to congratulate each and every one of you. And St. Mark's, so they get through the food by I'll say it on here. St. Mark's feed me yesterday, they get through the food. They get through. I ain't saying they try to get through, they get through. St. Mark, all you get through yesterday. All right, nice. Yeah, I get a good Sunday lunch up there. All right, nice. And folks, the phone lines are open, 440-7377-347-329-3101. Yeah, those are the numbers for you to call and get into the inside of tonight's program. Also remember, folks, on Saturday, there is the black tie event that's going to be taking place at the Pier 57. Yeah, that's going to be taking place. But you have to secure your tickets earlier. It's a limited number of tickets. So you've got to secure your tickets early. Limited number of tickets. So get in contact. You can call 440-1875, 440-1876. I think the price of the tickets are $300. It's a fundraising activity. So, you know, right? And it's a black tie event. And so you're going to be hearing some more about that during the week. I'll have people that will be calling in, giving some information about that and calling in. And so then remember, we're going to be having the rally taking place on Sunday. That's at the Boujejou playing field. So they're already trying all kind of tactics to try and dissuade people from coming out to that activity. They're trying their very best to dissuade people from coming out to the activity. So I'm telling all you, come out. Make sure that you all come out on Sunday. And we're going to be joined by one prime minister and a former prime minister. But we'll get back to that. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night. Hello?
Good
Hello?
night.
Hi, good night. You need to lower the volume in the background.
Night, Sheldon.
You need to kill the volume in the background.
How are you?
I'm good.
How are you?
I'm good. Go right ahead.
It was, it was, first of all, let me say it was great seeing you in the event yesterday.
All right.
Sheldon, there are some things that I want to speak about.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, I would like for the authority to address the situation on the carnage with the boat and them tying the knot on them onto the pave, because my 60-something-year-old mother had an accident where she fell and damaged all she needs and bruised up all she needs.
Ow.
That's one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Ceylon. I think it's high time that Grenadians do not take the threat that the Prime Minister made that when he was asked of allegation of corruption in his party, he said those that are making the allegations are lucky to be alive. Sheldon, Belma was died because of politics. Innocent people die on the foot because of politics. A whole prime minister was assassinated because of politics. I'm calling on the opposition leader to take step, and it's time to hit the street. This country do not belong to Deacon Mitchell. I calling on the opposition leader, Dr. the Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell, to do something with the threat that Deacon is making. We're not insinuating no violence. We're going to have a peaceful match, and we're going to call on the Prime Minister to either apologize or withdraw his statement. And the last and final point I want to make, Carriacou. We need to do something about Carriacou, for the people of Carriacou. The people of Carriacou are suffering too much, and we need to do something. Deacon and his team get $180 million, and the people of Carriacou is still suffering. We need to do something for the people of Carriacou. It's time we call out on the government to do something for the people of Carriacou. Have a blessed night, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you so very much. And folks, let me just make one quick correction. The tickets are, $350, not $300, yeah? So $350. Let me just correct that. That's the price of the tickets, all right? And we have some other activities coming up. I'm going to be speaking about them in a short while. I'm just making sure I have my, I just have to make sure I have my stuff over on that side, yeah, because one of these days if all you're lucky enough, like my good partner Alan, if all you're lucky enough and all you see how others be operated, you all will not believe how we're operating inside here in the nighttime. You all will. Oh my goodness. Yeah. If you all only see how others have to operate inside here on a night time. But I know I have some very caring and loving listeners. So you'll always thank them and congratulate them. But if I see how operated inside in the night. Yeah, actually you need 3 people to do what I'm doing here. Right. I have to be like one of the Hindu gods, Mother Lashmi. Yeah, hands there. But yeah, folks, so $350, let me just put that up so you all can see. The price of the tickets are $350. So it's the 40th anniversary banquet and awards. There's also an award session that will be taking place. It's a black tie formal event, and it's taking place at Pier 57 Grand Mall this Saturday. Tickets $350. It starts at 7 p.m. And we're going to have 2 prime ministers, one prime minister and a former prime minister in attendance. We've got a call online. Let me go to the phone lines and I'll come back. Hello, good night.
Good night.
Hi, good night.
How are you?
I'm quite fine. How are you doing?
Good for the time.
All right, you go right ahead, my dear. You're live.
I want to know if the Prime Minister giving us money and he's taking it back. Well, he's giving us money in the right hand and taking it back in the left.
Why do you say that, my dear? What has happened?
Because, for example, he said next year he will be making it mandatory that we have to pay in this money for the health for when you retire to get some money.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we get the money, then we can survive. And they say eat healthy, we might not be able to eat healthy at all.
Yeah, they have been planning to institute the new pension scheme. So that's one set of money that will be coming out of public workers' salaries. Then they're also speaking in relation to the national health insurance. So that's another set of money that's going to have to come out there. Then you're also speaking about the increase in the NIS payments on the scales thing. So next year at some time, if I remember correctly, there's going to be another increase in relation to the NIS.
Well, then, Sheldon, just now we might not have no money in the hand at all.
Well, my dear, there's a way to fix that problem, and the time will come. But we all have to be aiming at the same thing. Some of us can be thinking one thing and something. We all have to be aiming at the same thing. Yeah, I think some of us are losing focus,
Yeah.
Some of us losing focus. All right?
Okay.
All right, my dear. Thank you so very much for your call, though.
You're welcome.
All right, you have a wonderful one.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, I think some of us losing focus. But before I go to that one, I did mention the banquet. So it's the banquet and awards. So that will be taking place this Saturday at the Pier 57 in Grand Mall. $350 for the tickets, dinner and dance. And of course, you've got your complimentary welcome drink. I have to find a black tie. But they're selling black tie in town, boy. Yeah, Smith's still operating. I don't know. I doesn't buy that. Before I just used to run by Smithy and you grab something there. Oh boy, we've got a caller online.
Hey,
hello, good night.
Brother Sheldon.
Good night, sir.
How are you, man?
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Brother Sheldon, I want to congratulate the youth of the LMP for properly organizing an event. It was well organized. I enjoyed myself up there with those who partake and do the they could do. Brother Sheldon, when I look at this Christmas coming up, under NMP, you have among the gangs that to go out, about 1,000 something people to be walking on the road. And when the people get the money, spend the money in Grenada here, you could see the difference when Christmas time reach, because people's spending power is great. But when you look at NDC in administration, all NDC are in administration, the spending power of people are we doing good. Right? Look at 10 Christmas time, so many road bushes covering the road. The government put out 1 or 2 gangs. What the government should do, put out more gangs. When they put out more gangs, the people that are getting the money, foreigners, it's Grenadians. So when they get the money, when they put out more gangs, they get the money spent right back in the country. Right? Because when they are saying, Brother Sheldon, when a man give a man $100, he spend $200, we get always something put aside. So when Christmas time reach, he spend what he put aside with what he get. How you going to look at things? Less money the people have in the hand. Like they think like a movement to spend. But if a man don't have money, Brother Sheldon, how could he spend? How could he spend? And Brother Sheldon, I want to say again something with this government. It's time for the government to leave. It's time for them to go. Because they are doing nothing to better the living condition of the people of Carriacou and Petermatic. When of 5 months, the people in Carriacou and Petermatic was hit, Grenada was hit, but the people in Carriacou and Petermatic get the majority of damage under burial. What development that took place in rebuilding back Carriacou and Petermatic? Look at Ralph Gonzalez, the Prime Minister. A Prime Minister with experience. He knows how to build back. And among the homes that build back in Carriacou and Petermatic, the schools, help place build back. But what are the government doing? They just sit down there, lying and lying to the Grenadian people, deceiving. But I want to say it again to the young people. Don't let the government distract you. Don't let them frighten you. You have a right to support a party of your choice. So, Brother Sheldon, have a blessed night.
All right, sir. You have a good one. 440-7377. Let me clear the line. 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Hey, good, man. Good.
Go right ahead, man.
Sheldon, first of all, I would like to congratulate the youth on that successful had yesterday, It was very good. I looked at it online, and it was It was a very good, successful program. Sheldon, you know, more and more every day, living in the city, you see, our economy, the economy of the city becoming like we living in Slovenia. The name of the economy of Grenada now is Slovenia. It just becoming so slow. And you're hearing different businessmen complaining that things are just getting slow and slower. Like every month, slower and slower. And we have such a blind government that doesn't understand when you put money in the hands of poor people or the vulnerables, who they call the poor, or the needy and the greedy, these are the people who spend the money. And we've seen, Sheldon, just Sunday gone, they called for a cleanup, a self-help cleanup. People coming out and volunteer. And it was a failure. Sheldon, the NDC, even their people, didn't come out in the tongue of St. George as what they was expecting to make that cleanup something successful. They didn't get that type of support because right now people need, Sheldon, what you call money. And I know in the time of the new National Party in office, things like that happen in River Road and these places. Sheldon, gangs would have been out cleaning the street, where the government before was getting money to pay. And this government is so organized, so professional, as they say, and you just can't get that money to pay a 5, 6 extra gangs to come out and clean up the place. Sheldon, every time you pass, the dust that keep drying in the road, blowing in your face. When it's wet, it's sluggy and slippery. And when it's dry, it touching you, it blowing in your eyes. And these people just don't, just to spend.
So, my friend, I haven't been in River Road much lately. I made a pass, I think, over the weekend briefly. So, just what we were saying last week, that if that mud and so, the area layer of mud is left with the hot sun, it's going to end up into dust in people's face, and that has happened now.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Every time big vehicle pass, even small vehicles, Sheldon, if a man pass with a bicycle too fast and they hit the dust blows in your eyes, and that fine dust, it touches people, Sheldon. I don't understand. And then they take a vehicle and go around and telling people that the NDC having a cleanup and asking people to come out and volunteer. This, what happened in River Road, it could have been cleaned up already. If these people have just get a 6 or 4 gangs outside it and give the people a week work or such like, that would have been cleaned up already. I see, Sheldon, the way these people look at River Road people and respect River Road people and value River Road people, that is how they're treating River Road people. If it was somewhere else, Sheldon, I believe it would have been cleaned up already and the place would have been properly tapped. But what I am seeing, the disrespect for the people of River Road, all they want from River Road is the River Road people vote. That's all they want from River Road people. But look at how the place is sloggy. The drains are blocked. They are not giving no priority to that. Every day you pass, it touching you. And then they calling for people to come out and volunteer. This is Christmas. Man want to put a little dandan on his girlfriend, new shoes for their children, little Christmas ham. People want to have a nice Christmas, and you are asking people to volunteer. It really touches. It really touches. I despise the way how they treat the people of River Road. And I hope that the people of River Road is looking at these people. Election is coming, and you're looking at these people. The fact is, the parliamentary representative doesn't hold a government post right now. It is the so-called caretaker that holds that post. And they are torturing the people of River Road. To call the people to come out and clean up free when they could pay the people, it's a form of torture, and especially around this season, what we call Christmas season, and where people need the money. It's really something else. You know, Sheldon, I could say we really miss the NNP. We really, really miss
Every
the
day you hear that, my brother. Every single day you hear that.
Thank you, Sheldon.
All right. Thank you so very much. 440-7377, 347-329, 329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. And a caller mentioned something earlier. Let me just make it clear. Because see, some people go and they take what Dr. Mitchell say personal. Now, the leader of this country, the head of government, the Prime Minister of Grenada, went onto a program and made a statement where he said, well, let me come back to that one. Let me take this call. I must take this call. So let's come back to that one. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night.
Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And you?
I'm more than good, but I ain't too like thing that I hear in the, you understand? I find I hearing some kind of thing, the people making all kind of talk and saying thing. I ain't find that fear. I don't know since when we just bring people, relatives into thing. I don't know since when we doing that.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't surprised by those remarks, but they were definitely not necessary and very much uncalled for.
So for those who may be listening that do not understand what you're speaking about, just give us a context in what you're speaking about, because there may be people that listening, they hear two of us talking, we know, but they don't know.
Yeah, well, as you know, Sheldon, we have the slot on Tuesdays to the point program as opposition party to speak on various issues of national importance and interest. And of course, I was on last Tuesday and spoke about some of the issues in Carriacou. Most of it I spoke around feedback from people and what are their views and some of the things that have been done or not done. And I was making a point about recognizing Carriacouans who are basically investing, putting out their time and monies to get their roof, get their houses, their homes and business back up running, and also did indicate that the government is making allowance for $15,000 worth of material for persons. And I was making the point that while government is making that allocation, it is far from the extent of the damage in terms of the cost. And so, I wanted to commend persons who, yes, they may get the $15,000 support, but the amount that they have to put to get the roof back together is still, in some cases, a lot more than that. And so I was making the point that not just the support from government, but to highlight that people themselves, ordinary people themselves, are doing their part, in terms of trying to get their businesses and lives back. And that was the point that I was trying to make. However, I think the parliamentary rep and minister for Carriacou went on the following day, and I think he made comments to the fact that I said that the $15,000 was not enough or insufficient, and that why am I saying that when my mother received material support too, and that is an absolute lie. My mom.
Senator, I want you to hold a second. I want you to hold for one brief second while we play what he said, because folks may be saying, "No, all you're saying that," but I'm playing it. Yeah, I'm playing it. So hold 1 second. Let me just play for them.
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead, MP.
Right. So it's the $15,000 is a start, and it's mainly for assisting residents with roofing. It's for roofing assistance. So in his mind, he may think that it's not adequate, but that's him. But I've met a number of people, even this morning on my morning walk, who have expressed gratitude for the assistance, including his mom, who has received. But that's him. But I've met a number of people, even this morning on my morning walk, who have expressed gratitude for the assistance, including his mom, who has on my morning walk, who have expressed gratitude for the assistance, including his mom, who has received assistance. So there are a number of people who are grateful. So that's him. But I've met a number of people, even this morning on my morning walk, who have expressed gratitude for the assistance, including his mom, who has received assistance.
So again, and we're going to point it out clear. The minister lied.
Of course, that is a false statement. All the materials that we have been using at my mom's house have been procured by myself and my siblings.
Well,
so
I know your brothers. I know your brothers, and I know you, and I know Carriacou people know your brothers,
well,
and you as well.
So, and not just real.
So I can understand that one.
Even my mom and all dip into her account and put out of her own monies as well. So I that is false. You know, that is false. Sheldon, my mom went on the mainland about a week after burial pass, and she has been on the mainland by my brother since. Yeah, so
how you was walking around and meet your mom when she not even in Carriacou?
Well, I think that's an error he started based on how he made his statement. I think he really meant that he met my mom while walking. So that is I think he really meant that. I ain't going so far. I think it was a mistake. A genuine mistake. He probably made
genuine mistake, Mr. Man.
So
the man fake
I think he was very eager.
You played too nice.
Very eager to announce that my mom got materials. So it's easy to fit in that in the statement, but really actually no. I mean, where he said as soon as he felt he met my mom walking, but that is not the case. My mom has been on the mainland since the passage, since right after about a week after the passage of Hurricane Burial.
You see, you such a nice fella. Yeah. You're trying to be nice. I ain't going to be nice. He damn lie. He lied. The man created. The man has said he had a conversation with somebody in Carriacou who has not been in Carriacou since a week after the hurricane, but he had a conversation with them in Carriacou in relation to something that he claims they received that they never received. The man damn lie. Excuse the language.
Yeah, but I mean, really and truly, he should have. You need to apologize to my mom. You know, I she doesn't deserve that. You know, there is no reason. And you know what is even more sad, and I think is a bigger concern for persons who are receiving assistance from the government at this point in time. It means that, and you can see it is a pattern. It's a pattern of behavior that is going around. In particular, I could speak for Carriacou in particular. Remember, there's this young lady with this house. I mean, how she was they came out and attacked her because she didn't want to relocate. She wanted the house a different place, and she didn't want to relocate. And you know, they attacked her for that. And so I guess as much because I spoke about the whole material issue, it probably was an opportunity to attack me. So persons who have received government support, I believe, if they were to critique this government anyway, they better be prepared for their personal business to be out in public. They better be prepared for that, because that is the MO of this government. I can see that from what I'm seeing going on. So persons have to be mindful of that. Yeah, I think that is what is going on basically.
This is absolutely disgusting. And as you just mentioned, okay, we're setting the situation with your mom aside, as you've just mentioned. And again, that's very frightening, because now you're applying for something and basically the world could know that you apply and you get and all kind of thing. And it seems now even when
there's a strong likelihood that they can put your business out there. Yes.
But the thing is, it's so bad that even when you do apply and you do get your name still calling, that is how bad the thing is, you know. Not that you apply and you
well, I don't.
You don't even apply.
I don't really know what happened. I don't know what happened with the stuff, but I didn't apply for any material. My siblings didn't apply for the material. And you know, Sheldon, in the context of what has happened and the context of limited resources that the state has, you know, there are other people who are in much more need than myself and my mom. I wouldn't put myself, out there like that unless it is something like a dire situation where whatever support that I need is beyond uh, the capacity of myself and my family. Then you turn to government, and there are persons in that situation, and so I would not in any way, and even from where I sit also in terms of being in the parliament, you know, once you are part of the state operations in terms of certain things that has to be distributed, yourself or close family members, as a consequence, tend not to be able to benefit from those benefits. So those are things that I am conscious about, and I know for a fact that being in government and understanding the consequences of your position, so I wouldn't put myself or my family in that kind of position. As I said, there are other persons who are much in more need within my community than myself. So I don't know, why he would do something like that. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you go and make kind of comment? Because I didn't really knock down the $15,000. I just only indicated and recognized the efforts of persons who have received that support and the additional that they have to put out themselves. So I commended them for that. So it wasn't anything about knocking the support from government, because that's a responsibility of government. And of course, the funds that have been used as state funds, and it have been donated to the state. So persons do have some degree of entitlement to be able to access those because of the situation that we're in. It's a disaster. So I don't understand why he would try to approach it, in that way. If you said, look, yes, we're giving $15,000 now, we plan to give more, and that's fine, and it ends right there. I don't know why he's trying to implicate me to make me look as if, well, I'm critiquing something that my family is benefiting from. Why you calling my mom naming that stuff? My mom don't know anything about and all this stuff, I mean,
because we don't interfere
my
with
mom,
people's family, we deal with
Yeah.
them, we don't deal with their family, So I don't understand
Yeah,
how they're trying to bring
I
people
don't know.
mother
I
into
mean,
this.
if you want to say something to me or at me about me, I mean, attack me. Why you going after my mom like that? I don't know. And more so that she never requested anything from. I mean, nobody can ever say that she call and request any support. Yeah. So I think that was very distasteful. I mean, from where we sit, the office of the minister, that's not good. But I think
That probably a
he has a
sleepwalk,
clear
man.
opportunity.
Probably he was sleepwalking. When he went on that morning walk, he didn't wake up yet. He was probably sleepwalking. He dreamed that one. Maybe he dreamed
Well,
that
I think
one.
I think he has a clear opportunity, to be mature about it and just simply, indicate that his statement was incorrect and no such materials was delivered to my mom, and he apologized. And that's not difficult. That's not difficult for him to do. I expect him to do it. I think that it is the right and proper thing to do. So I look forward to that apology statement. Not from me, to my mom. Yeah.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I'm hoping that.
But
Yeah. And there was another issue too. There was another
I'm
issue.
now gonna raise some others with you
That
because
I-
we have you on and we and you just get away like that. So go ahead.
There was another issue that I spoke about too, that he didn't. I mean, I don't know if he listened or he didn't understand in what context it was made. And I was speaking about the garbage, and there was some remark as if I said that government is wasting. What I said is that in speaking to persons day by day, the feedback from residents, there is in their mind the belief based on how the garbage is being handled, the funds are being wasted. Because if you're paying trucks to move the garbage from one site to the next, and then you may have to pay truck to move the garbage again from another site to the boat. Persons were saying, why not just move it straight to the badge and let it go to Grenada one time instead of having to pay the truck to move it twice.
That
So
makes
I
sense, yeah.
indicated that is the feeling from persons. I said I even went forward to say that there might be a reason why it is being done that way. But if you do not communicate to the public why you're doing certain things, people form their own opinion. And so persons felt that they feel strongly that funds are being wasted. And of course, the decision to use the playing fields was a terrible one, was a bad one, and he doesn't want to admit that. He indicated that they couldn't find any other place. I mean, that is so false. That is so false. Ask any Carriacou among the lands that we have in Dumfries that could have been utilized. There are other private person properties who are not being used that you could have, at least government could have acquired partially just to store those material. They don't have material on private property. So to say that you can't find any other place, that is far from the truth. That is far from the truth. It was a bad decision. I mean, I could see in the haste of things, you're throwing at least one playing field. From the time you throw the first playing field, you should know. From the time you think you double check, you should know not to throw in another one. And there were cries, and they were advised not to do that. Yeah, but they continued, and so it's a serious issue. There is no playing field except for the Larison Mini Stadium playing field, and there are persons who are sheltering there still, who doesn't have a home. So I do hope that those persons in those shelters do get some attention as quickly as possible so that they can get some place to stay. So it's still a little bit tight for a few people. It's still been tough for a few people. In terms of business-wise, in terms of the economy, it's still a little slow in Carriacou. It's gonna take some time for those things to get going, and some of it is beyond government control. Yeah, some of it is beyond government control, and we're being frank. You know what I mean? The whole idea is we can't afford for the ministry or the government to fail, because if they fail, Carriacouans are going to be impacted negatively.
They're the ones that suffer.
And so I always say, I continue to say, we're rooting for them to get it right. And hence the reason why I would raise awareness on certain critical issues that I think that they need to address, they need to fix, or they need to do better. And so I think I have a responsibility to do that. I mean, I don't go on the radio and cry down people and call them all kind of stuff, or, and as other programs, people calling me names and that kind of thing. I don't have time for that. I don't traffic in those kind of things. I don't traffic in those kind of behavior. I don't have to do that to get my point across, or to touch on critical issues that concern the people of Carriacou and pretty much like that. I don't have to do that. And so I wasn't raised like that. And maybe if some persons believe that is their type of style of politics for them, so be it. But I don't believe that I have to do that. And I believe that the people of Carriacou pretty much expect more of persons who put themselves up to represent them. Yeah, so it's within that context, I believe that we have to raise those concerns. We have to bring that awareness to government. There are a lot of other issues, and people are speaking. People are speaking out.
Well, let me ask you this question, though. It's a question that a couple of folks have messaged me and have been asking. They have been asking about the 27 or so houses that are being built in Dumfries, and if a fair and transparent selection process of the people who are going to receive those houses has taken place, or is it a case where the minister decide and he just go by this person and say, we're moving you from here and put you there? Was there a clear, open, and transparent process that took place with a committee or so on? Was a committee put in place to make the selections?
Not to my recollection. There was no announcement of any committee. There was no invitation for people to apply. I presume that they may have had information. I know there are persons who are recipients of those houses who didn't have a house before, who didn't own a house before. I mean, I am not adverse to somebody getting a house who didn't own a house before, but I'm just saying it in the context of what criteria. No one really knows what are the criteria that was really they came up with,
Mm-hmm.
so that persons could have said, "Look, well, I qualify whatsoever." It was more, to me, it's a subjective process than anything else.
So how does
That
a
is what I
person
believe.
know that? But this is madness, because if you're getting some houses, a gift, and let me show the people the houses. Let me see if I can pull up the houses so folks could see what some of the houses are looking like. So those are the houses that they're saying people will be moving into before Christmas. They're saying that folks will be moving into those homes, but there has been no clear and transparent process of how folks have been selected for those homes. Or you would have known, you would have heard of it.
No, no, there was none. There was not. Additionally, the build back better houses, just to use their terminology. There was an announcement that 50 of those houses are going to be ready for by Christmas. Shall I'm telling you, I'm telling you, when that statement was made, I could have come out the following day and said that would never happen. Yeah, based on my experience in project, based on my experience in construction, and based on my experience of what takes place in Carriacou and how things are right now in terms of the movements of goods and services and the availability of workers, I know for a fact that would never happen. The only how for that to happen, the whole 50 whole 50 houses had to start at the very said time, when you have to have 50 different contractors for those houses to be ready by December. Yeah. So sometimes I don't know why persons will make those statements without understanding. If you don't understand the context in which you make those statements, I don't know who you're fooling, by doing that. I think it is right and proper to be practical in your utterances and what could happen, when it could happen, and don't give people that kind of false hope. Because the same people who you indicated that the house is ready for Christmas, they have been looking forward to it, and it's not going to happen. It is not going to be ready. If one, from what I'm seeing, maybe one might be ready by Christmas.
And I'm showing folks as
might
well.
Be ready.
I'm showing folks as well the location, because in case folks don't realize, the area at the top here is where the houses are being built, and this area down here is the labas, as we used to say in Trinidad, the labas, the garbage, the dump. Is the dump down here?
The prefab houses.
Yeah, the prefab houses that are being built. Yeah, they're being built up here, and the dump is basically downhill from there. So they're basically building it on top of the dump. That's my view on it.
Yeah. And as I said, they built also a few on persons' personal property, which I think was a good move.
Yeah.
Instead of having to ask them to move to Dumfries. So it's the same thing that the young lady in the mangrove was saying. Look, well, I have other available lands here. Yes, where my house was that got damaged. If you're saying that it is not a suitable area, but she said to them that there is other land close by where they were doing one for somebody else, which belongs to a parent, which she can use and have access to set up the house on. So I think that was the feedback that I received from her personally. So I don't know what conversation that she had when she met with the parliamentary rep then, but that is what she indicated to me, what the conversation was. And she said she didn't really refuse the house. Mm-hmm. She didn't refuse the house. She indicated that she didn't want to relocate. Yeah. So and I just want to put on record, Sheldon, to commend the donor agency from Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm. They're doing an excellent job.
Who have donated those 27 houses. I think that was a very noble initiative on their part, and we are very grateful for that. Unfortunately, Peter Matnick has not been able to benefit from any of those houses as yet, I believe. I don't think I saw any government.
Wow.
Pardon me?
No, I said Petit Matnick got none of those. Well, as far as you know.
They probably have a mark for Petit Matnick, but I don't think I haven't seen any started as yet. I'm not certain. I could be wrong. I stand corrected. But from the last time I visited, I didn't see any government initiative in terms of building houses in Pidimanic. I haven't seen any taking place. So I don't know if there is a reason for that. But Sheldon, just a little bit on the lighter side, which also may reflect the situation on the ground, is that you remember there's this reference to the nation, how the nation was announced by this government. It was pretty much the Carriacou, Grenada. Yeah, before election. But I could tell you right now, I think he has gone back the other way. Pity Matnick is last right now. It's Grenada, Carriacou, then Pity Matnick, if they remember. Honestly, that is what is really happening right now.
Yeah.
So that has changed around. If you notice, they're not saying Pity Matnick first anymore.
Yeah, and I realize as well the fishermen. I've been contacted by some of the fishermen who are asking what is taking place with the funds that were received from CRIF. So the money is not to say the money is not there, it was received from CRIF that they are supposed to receive to assist them. They've been asking what's taking place with that. I don't know if they've reached out to you.
I've been hearing from persons on the ground that they have started to, some fishermen have received payments. Some has received. I don't know what is the status of the others, but they have started to pay. So that is what I was told over the weekend. So persons started to receive finally. So we're very happy with that. But I believe that those funds were probably utilized otherwise, and they're probably operating on pay as you go right now. So because I can't see what was the hold up if the monies are there.
14 days after the hurricane, the monies were collected.
Yeah.
14 days after the hurricane, due to the excellent work of the NNP, the monies were there.
Of course.
So I fail to understand why. Anyway, Papa, they will say how. But another question, one listener is asking of you. They're asking, what is the status of the Top Hill Senior Home? When will residents be returning there? Because we know quite a few are down here. Some have died.
That we don't know.
Some have even died.
Yeah,
that we. Here.
Yeah, some have even passed away, sadly.
Yeah.
But there has been no announcement from the ministry of the government regarding the senior citizen home and also the daycare. No word on those two facilities, which are very much critical, especially for persons who, and that's one of the transformative project of the National Party. The former Minister and Parliamentary Rep Elvin Nimrod, the daycare. That daycare was a very, very, very important project. Yeah, especially what it does. It provides an opportunity for working parents, to have their kids go to a suitable place while they go out and provide a trade and come back and pick up their kids. And before we had, just little private persons doing it. So I think that is one of the projects that, for me as a Carriacouan, I believe that it's very, 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 very powerful for helping persons to move forward and advance themselves in a modern society. So that's the Christian David Child Development Center. It's still not functional. There might be need for some repair work, of course, on it. So I don't know what is the status of it, but it's not open as yet. We haven't heard any announcement from the ministry regarding such, neither the senior citizens home. I did saw a sign. I think it was the Rotary. The Rotary had erected a sign, so I believe that they are in some way contributing towards the restoration of the home. So I do not know if they did it in its entirety or they partner with government. So, but I have seen the sign on the building.
So let me ask you, no work.
They had given some commitment to do some work there.
No major work has taken place there as of yet. Maybe just a cleanup or so, but nothing else really.
Probably just a cleanup. I can't recall. Last time I passed the area, there was no major work done there. So they probably would have done something, but they would have to get like new fixtures, furniture, and things like that. So they would have to to get back the place operational. So,
Another
but
question.
that's where it is.
Another question here, and I don't know if these people feel you're the MP, you know. In a while, or you go be the MP, not right now, but you go be the MP soon. They're asking about the crusher that was supposed to be in Carriacou quite a while ago to deal with the galvanized. Is it there? Is it in operation? How are things going with that? There was talk of a crusher that was supposed to be brought in Carriacou to deal with the waste, and then you kind of package it and send it down to Grenada. So is that crusher there? Is it working? The thing doing good work? What's the situation with that?
Well, there is no such device on the island. However, I haven't heard any official statement from Solid Waste or the government about how they're going to treat with the garbage. What we noticed is that when I spoke about the garbage, initially they started to barge the galvanized out to mainland Grenada. Somehow they stopped. They did it. I think they did about 3 or 4 trips, and they stopped. I don't know if it's a situation of cost or logistics, but I heard that there were efforts to procure some equipment, as you indicated, to treat with the zinc sheets in particular, and hence the reason why they stopped moving the garbage out, the galvanized in particular. So I haven't heard from government any official announcement about machine to come or equipment to come or purchase to procure. I just heard it from persons who would have heard from somebody else, probably within government or so.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's already on island or within the country Carriacou, or it's still overseas, or if they're still doing it. I think that is something that they will have to indicate to persons. But they have been moving all the zinc sheets from all the sites to Tirabay, close to the port. So if they are purchasing a machine or have purchased a machine, probably the intention is to do all the crimping at Tirabay and then ship them out with a badge. So that's probably the next. That's probably the new approach that they're taking. Instead of just shipping out the galvanized just like that, they're probably taking a new approach to try to get it cheap. As I said, it's probably a cost issue. I want to believe it's a cost issue because to pay the trucks, to put it on the barge, to pay the barge burning grader, and to pay trucks to take it off the barging grader and to bring it to Bossejou. So I want to believe the issue is one of cost and equipment and trucking and transportation in terms of the barge. They are going to attract some heavy costs. So I believe that is one of the issues.
Okay.
That they may have retaken it, yeah.
Well, Senator Cox, I'm going to take up nearly a whole night. I am so sorry, sir. But I know when it comes to issues of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you always like to ensure that people understand from what the people of Carriacou... And I hope people understand. This is not just Nolan Sebastian Cox
and it's
speaking.
Critical, but it's very important to explain, because one of the reasons why we were advising and suggested that a site be cleared, some portion of land be cleared in Dumfries to put the garbage instead of the playing field was for the very same reason in terms of cost. So if the garbage were in Dumfries, government wouldn't have to rush in any way to remove them from where they are in the midst of residents right now, which is very unsightly and very unhealthy, of course. They would have to rush to do that. So the issue of cost implication would not have come into play. They could have taken their time over time and remove them out or just, they wouldn't have to, even though be a rush. Additionally, all playing fields would not have been compromised. No, and they would have formed their work as a suitable place for persons to recuperate, to recreate as they have been intended for. And so hence the reason why this suggestion not to use the playing fields is the one that we had indicated initially, and we stand by that. Was that decision that was not a very good one. It is now really they're finding out to be a very costly decision, an expensive decision, because even after the garbage is removed, I think the parliamentary had made some remark to stating that in his mind, it doesn't matter how much it costs to move the garbage have to move. That's not the point. The point is why incur unnecessary costs on the people of Greater Carriacou and Petit if there are other ways that it could be done better. And that is the reason why people give you an opportunity to manage. Manage not just because you just do something, you just spend money there. You have to manage properly. You have to manage the state resources in the best way possible, and not because you have an authority to make a decision that you just make a foolish one, and you double down on it. So I mean, you just say, look, at the time, if you make a bad decision, I mean, you would get some things wrong. That's normal. That's life. Yeah. And so I think that the failure to do that and the attempt to mislead, to give people the impression that everything is fine and dandy in Carriacou, I think it is not a good one at all. And there is no reason. We're not saying that, Carriacou is like a desolate place or anything like that. But we are saying that don't give the people an impression that everything is back to normal. It is not. It is not. A lot of persons are struggling health-wise on the mental side. I mean, I had conversations with persons tonight, it's tough, and I've been encouraging persons, if you could get away for a week, if it's just to run on the mainland, just for a weekend, just to distress, a fresh perspective, those are different. You do whatever is necessary to keep your mental health intact. And so those are some of the challenges that persons are facing. A lot of people don't understand. It is not as easy as it is portrayed on Facebook. Especially in this last recent days, whenever you hear the wind blow some water, the rain started pour on the roof.
Well, right now I realize
at my place of business, I have to be mopping and sweeping water constantly. So I could imagine where people are sleeping. One person was telling me that it just from the time you hear the rain start to fall, they just shut down. They shut down. Yeah. So that is the situation. And persons are working. Persons are doing whatever little that they can. Persons do their little makeshift homes and to come up with a plan to rebuild. Persons who haven't have the financial capacity to do their roof, they're doing it the best as they can, and everybody is trying their best to recover and recuperate as much as possible. So, I mean, when you hear government or persons in government position tearing people down or making false statements about people during this particular time, when people have so much to deal with, why would you want to be making them kind of statements or attacking people around this time when people have so much to deal with already? You're not helping.
It's totally unfair.
You're not helping. Yeah. But there's one last thing which I want to raise. We had that fire in Haverville, in the playing field.
Yeah, I realize that's gone quiet.
I think very quiet, I think there was a initial statement by the parliamentary rep that investigations are going on, and to quote what he wrote there, the reports coming in were very interesting. I think that was the key word there, and he will give further updates, but we haven't heard a single update from him since then. So, I mean, I just raise it for what it's worth. It's a situation that could have evolved into a very disastrous one. And so, I don't know, but I believe that a number of persons are waiting for some feedback, some update. I don't know if anybody was found to be implicated in such, if anything happened with the police or whatsoever. We haven't heard anything. So I just say it for what it's worth.
Yes, indeed. Senator Cox, we'd like to thank you so very much for taking the time to be on with us tonight. We know it's not easy because we know you're working on the house. I see you're ton carpenter, so you're working on the house. I know you still got your business, you still got the children.
Man,
and
I
you got
don't,
the
I don't, I
constituency.
don't know what you turn carpenter. I turn carpenter. I probably turn politician. I was a carpenter first.
Well, you turn back. You turn back. Yeah, man. I see you this
Yeah, I mean,
sweating.
and I not only that, you know, I had to leave home to actually to come and make that call because at my home, network is still spotty. It drops like every few minutes. It would drop entirely. So I had to find a location that where the signal is steady, so that we could have this conversation uninterrupted.
All right. My brother, we'd like to thank you so very much. And see you soon when you make a
You're
pass on
welcome.
the mainland, man.
Yeah. Probably on the weekend. Yeah.
And you know one thing before you go Southside in lane, you go unless you say hello to them. You know Southside in lane, you go unless you say hello.
Yeah, the people in South St. George, you know, they are very special people, and I will always remember them for their support. You know, I truly feel honored to be given an opportunity to interact with them and to be part of them. I think that is something that will always remain with me, and I just want to thank them for sharing their lives and their experiences with me. So that will always remain grounded in who I am. So they have to worry about that.
All right, my brother.
Tell them I'm there with them right through. Yeah.
Of course. You enjoy the rest of it, I'd say. Thank you. Tell the family hello for me. All right.
Okay, sure. Cool, man. No
Wonderful.
problem.
Yes, indeed, folks. There we've been speaking with the Senator, the Honorable Nolan Cox. Yes, dispelling not a rumor in a straight out lie. The man lie. The man say he went on a morning walk. He meets Senator Cox's mom, somebody who is not even on the island of Carriacou. But he went for his morning walk in Carriacou. He went for his morning walk. And that's how he met her. And she thanked him for the assistance that she received. A person who has not applied for, their children have not applied for, who has used their own little resources and their children have assisted to do what is being done, and you go and you're dragging the person's name into this thing. So it's like he talking by mother again. That's the impression he's trying to give. Blatant lie. Blatant lie. Oh my goodness. Folks, the phone lines are open, 440-7377. But I was telling you all something earlier as well. And it went back to the statement that was made by Dr. Mitchell that some people trying to blow out of proportion. Dr. Mitchell was simply saying that as the Prime Minister of this country, which has a kind of history when it comes to certain things involving politicians in this country. In the Gary era, you had the death of innocent Belma. Yeah? A politician who died due to politics. Yeah? You also had the situation with the end of the revolution, where a cabinet and other senior people were lined up and executed. Earlier this month, I don't even think it was last month. Earlier this month, you've had the situation in Antigua, where a prominent parliamentarian, somebody sitting in parliament, they were murdered. So while you have these kind of things taking place, you have the Prime Minister here coming out and speaking about some people lucky to be alive. People in NNP lucky to be alive. It was a stupid statement. It shows a lack of understanding historical context in this foolishness they were speaking. It shows just a total level of dunceness in relation to the issue at hand. You can't be the Prime Minister and making those kind of statements. You are encouraging folks who may be supporters of your organization to do things that they believe because of what you have said that they have a certain level of protection to do. And that was the point that Dr. Mitchell was making. Nobody should really be making those kind of statements, but especially for the head of government of the country to be making that dunce statement. And I say it as it is, who want to vex with the words I use, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It was a dunce statement to make. Listen, I've known of former parliamentarians in Trinidad who were killed. There was Selwyn Richardson, was ambushed and shot. He was the former Attorney General in Trinidad, and so you had the coup over there where they shot different parliamentarians and that sort of thing. You have that there. Here in Grenada, we have October 19th, and before that, we have the Innocent Belma situation. In Antigua, you just had a parliamentarian that died. In Jamaica, years ago, there was one parliamentarian that was shot and killed and that sort of thing. So you have to be careful as the quote-unquote leader of a country to be making statements encouraging that sort of thing, because that's what you're doing. So people that may have that thought germinating in their mind believe that if the head of government is talking about this thing as something that basically should have happened, that there may be a certain level of protection afforded to them to do the stupidness that they're talking about. You have people that take it and run it and start to talk all kind of foolishness, looking for attention, talking all kind of foolishness. Anyway, we have a call online. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
How you doing, my brother? Good night.
I'm quite fine. You go right ahead.
Hey, Sheldon, I want to ask a question, man. Are the citizens of the country, they are defendant in the courthouse?
If they are?
It seems so. Because when they can say tease, they say tension. Why this guy could have his will like that? Sheldon, you know the biggest problem with having with the can? The disrespect. When you talk about the oil and gas, with the documents, all the brother had us to do contact the relevant authorities. And he would have get what he want. He wrote some kind of stupid sheet and go and give the Governor General to her destination, and she read it like she take it personal. When he took contact, Bowen told him where he could get it. Sheldon, this guy know where to get the keys, you know. He broke open the place to get the file. When he got the ticket, that he sneak out in Nigeria. Sheldon, you know what I would have liked to see happen to the governor in Lagos State. I wanted him also, I should lock up the can for terrorism. This guy just disrespect. He's a failure. Disrespect. And I'm having a problem with him, man. I'm a proud Grenadian, man. And listen. Hey, we are going on that line again. The revolution, it was too much tension. You see this time? Trust me, it's going to get very dark, man. We are going on that line. Please, save us the problem. Save we mothers the tears, man. Please. Don't do that. Please. Sheldon, one love, man.
All right, my brother. Blessings. Well, let me say this. Yeah. So I'm saying that the Prime Minister made a very ignorant, in the proper dictionary terminology, a very ignorant statement when he said that. And it is the way that he said it as well. And that is what is being spoken about. You are basically saying that people lucky to be alive. They should be, in other words, you're saying these people should be dead. This is not Haiti. We're not living in North Korea. What you mean about these people? Where you was when all people was working out there, killing out their soul case to try and build Grenada? When all of us were involved in youth programs, developing youth and doing stuff for youth and getting employment, and I see them passing with their handbag and think, no, fellas, with their bag with the tools on their back and so on. You know that it's people that came through the youth programs and developed. Some of them had their own local business and so. When some of us were out there doing them kind of thing, yeah, when you had the Ministry of Youth under Emlyn P and young people on the blocks, and she going to meet the young people on the blocks and get them involved in positive things, get them to go and learn a trade, get them to go and get involved in different things. Some of them not even here. They've traveled. They developed themselves to that point. And after you do all of that, where was you when all of that was taking place for you to say that people should dead? When Hurricane Ivan hit this country, And the young people in Spice Youth Promotion take up the hammer and the saw. And we went out and build houses for people who had 1 foot, who had no foot, who had nobody to help them. Houses, different parts of the island, young people. I didn't see he. He wasn't involved. He wasn't taking part in the reconstruction effort. And that's just with youth. But when it was sports, and you have different clubs and so on, I don't see. Now he running and say, well, I'm supporting this one, and I'm supporting that one, and all kind of thing. You never saw him involved in these kind of things, but yet still he come in and try to talk down to people who have made their contributions in different ways, in different fields here in Grenada over the years. And I'm not saying that you can't critique, but you can't talk down to nobody and do not need to talk down to nobody. What, you win an election? NNP give you an election, but we ain't giving you none again. Believe me, you're lucky if you win your seat. Let me repeat that tonight. I'll make a note of that. The 25th of November, 2024. I'm saying it tonight. Deacon lucky if he win his seat. Just remember to tell all of that. I think we have, oh boy, I missed that call. Call back. Yeah, 440-737-7347-329-3101. And folks, we have this event coming up. Yeah, my New York people. Good night to you all. Yeah, it's the New York NNP chapter. They present an evening of sip and chat. That's taking place next week, Saturday. And it's going to be starting at 6 p.m. Music by DJ Small Clothes. It's taking place at 535 East 19th Street between Newkirk and Ditmas. We have a caller on the line. I'll come back to the sip and chat. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Camille Teresa Scott, good night to you, my dear.
Yeah, and good night to the Grenadian people. You know I don't get sick with all you and you're talking about this. The Grenadian people that vote, old people didn't vote for this, young people that vote for this Michel.
Mm-hmm.
You asking me where he was. Them that vote for them, for that man.
But you see, we never took the time as the elders
them
to explain
that vote
to
for
them.
that man, Sheldon. So when you are crying and crying, I just sorry for them.
Hello? Crying? No. Change your words. I ain't crying for nothing. I'm explaining the reality.
That man, people didn't know. I only know Deacon Mitchell when I go in the courthouse. I used to see that man passing with his jacket and his hand going inside number 1 magistrate court. That's where I know Mr. Deacon Mitchell, I used to watch him and say, the man can't say good morning. And somebody people to say, that's how he is. Grenadians that vote for Deacon Mitchell, anything Deacon Mitchell do, he good. Grenadians that vote for Deacon Mitchell. Hey, I just sorry. I want nobody to sorry for me. I seen me trouble, let me see me trouble. But I didn't vote for him. The Grenadian people, young people that vote for Deacon Mitchell. Old people, they don't vote for Deacon. Anybody old in Grenada is maybe that vote for Deacon Mitchell is maybe irrelative. But it's the young people that give Deacon Mitchell, put him where he is, and never see that man pass through the market. I never see that man pass through the terminal and ask Grenadians the Halico business, how is business today? And Grenadians still going back and vote for him when they call the election. I don't trust all you because I have bad mind. Excuse me. Grenadians just have bad mind people. They just talk on the both side of the mouth. I on the ground and I just hear them. A bunch of hypocrite people. A bunch of hypocrite. So whatever we get, we have to take. You understand? Look at the people in Carriacou. Look at what Mr. Nimrod, the deceased, may his soul rest in peace. And Miss Strode. And then what they do for Carriacou. And Carriacou people vote them out. Carriacou people vote them out. They vote out NNP. Now they're balling. Now Kevin doing them what they want. Mr. Nimrod fight, he helped the Carriacou people. Miss Chod come, again help, and they vote her out. I don't get sick of your program, yes, I respect your program, but I don't stand for these people, and they have more trouble again to come. They have all these houses. They don't help nobody. They don't help nobody. You have people that owe me. You have people that owe me. They walk in the road. They go for their money Friday. And they don't get a cent. People are walking the road at cut bush. And I want million money. I have to pay me rent. You got to pay me rent.
They told me that.
Throw me out on this.
They told me that yesterday that a lot of them have not been paid. They were supposed to be paid Friday.
I know some of them come to me. They come to me and tell me, Mr. I don't get paid. They tell them come back Monday. And the lady didn't lie. More than one come and tell me they went in the treasury on Friday and they tell them come back Monday. Some of them go today and they didn't get. So what's happening? What? It good.
All right.
It good for them. And I hear you announcing again something at NNPL. Last year, I paid $300. And nobody never give me an apology and say, Miss Kami, I'm sorry for what happened. I won't take no part again. And that was nice. You know why, Mr. Scott?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was you or some executive body that he paid that $300 and went and they didn't get what they had to get. They would apologize to them. But it was me. And I sit down on that terminal and I struggle and I save me little money. And they don't even give me a glass of water.
But
and I'm
Kami,
very upset about that.
But Kami, and I'm going to say it here, I wouldn't say it behind your back. You know that there was a misunderstanding between yourself and the folks in relation to when the food would have been ready. When you were called, hold on. When you were called, when you were called and you were told that we're sending it now, you said, well, it's too late, gas bar, you already, don't bother to send it. Because there was a misunderstanding of how early that would have been ready. So you were there and you were waiting, thinking that it was coming early, so it wasn't something that was willfully done. But I do understand where you're coming from when you say that nobody didn't apologize to you. I am very sorry about that. We will ensure that
let me tell you something. I ain't denied. I ain't getting denied. Nobody didn't call me. Nobody didn't call me. I asked you, I said, Sharon, you will make an arrangement for me that they could drop it for me because they didn't call me.
I called you and you said it's too late. That's all I could tell you exactly why.
Well, that was late in the night. When you called me?
Yes, because it was a late evening activity, but you had the misunderstanding that it was earlier in the day.
But anyhow, that is night. If it was anybody on the executive, they would have called them and they would have tell them they're sorry. And nobody didn't give me a glass of water. Have a good night.
All right, my dear.
I say what I have to say.
All right.
I don't like that. Because maybe somebody in authority there, they'd have tell them they're sorry or they'd have give them back something.
All right.
And it was nice because a poor woman as me struggle and sell me little blood and sick and I don't get a glass of water.
All right, Kami. All right. Yes, indeed. No, I called you. That's how I could say it. Yeah, I wouldn't come and say it in the terminal to you. Just I saying it on here, same way you say it, I saying it on here. I called you. Yeah, because there's a misunderstanding in relation to the timing. And that is a fact. You know that. Yeah? All right, folks. 4407377 347 3101. I was telling you all about the Sip and Chat. So the New National Party New York support group, they're presenting Sip and Chat. That's taking place on Saturday, the 7th of December. It starts at 6 p.m. Eats available and a cash buy. It's taking place at 535 East 19th Street between Newkirk and Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11226. So let me give you the address again. It's 535 East 19th Street between Newkirk and Ditmas Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11226. All right, so that is taking place. Also, yeah, well, as I mentioned the banquet and awards already, and the Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique Nurses Association, they're having their 38th annual Black and White Gala, or Gala, all right? That's taking place on Saturday, the 14th of December, up there in New York at Glen Terrace, 5313 Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, right? So that's 5313 Avenue. I'm seeing N. I'm not sure if it means North Brooklyn, New York. Cocktail is taking place between 9 and 10 p.m. And between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. you have the dancing and so on. So you can get in contact with the following people. And of course, it's a black and white affair. That is Wendy on 917-602-1476. Rahiman at 646-322-8385. 8385, yeah. And Joylyn at 718-496-3730. So you can head on out there to that activity. All right, nice. Oh, gosh. Yes, 440-7377. That is the number to call and get on this inside. You can also call us on the WhatsApp. And I got a message a short while ago. Again, in relation to the Top Hill home, that question came up a little earlier, where apparently the elderly that was sent down from Carriacou, they've got to be out of the homes down here by the 15th of December. And the Rotary Club is trying their very best to get the facility in Carriacou back up and running. So as it is right now, the elderly, they have just a little over 2 weeks remaining again, 2 weeks and some days remaining at the facilities down here. So the facility in Carriacou needs to be fixed ASAP. Well, you see, we talk about H.A. Blaze Street and we make them take night. They have to take night and make day and make it fix it, you know. They take night and make day because we had to come and make noise for them to fix it. So we call them out on it. So here what? Hurry up and finish pave mall in here. Since that is what we had to do. Hurry up and finish pave mall in here. Because it's still, they're still doing all the work and thing there. Try and finish before the end of the weekend because they did say that it will be in the month of November. So we do hope that it is completed ASAP. Since that is what we just had to do to get through with these things. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Hi, good night, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Good. Good night, Talking Points family. Hey, Sheldon, some quick questions for the solid waste management. In Grenada, there was a machine brought in for Ivan to crush, galvanize cars and so on to make cubes. Is that machine operating? Anybody know? Why don't they bring it to Carriacou to compact the galvanize?
I believe that was operating until recently. I think in Bujeju, I remember passing there and seeing metal.
Yes, he was moved.
In cubes.
He was moved from the stadium today. I used that machine back in 2005, 2006 when it came. So I know when this machine came to the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know why we purchasing our next one from Florida for some millions of dollars to bring to Carriacou for only, and we have one in Grenada. So I don't know if solid waste could look into that and get it to Carriacou. It could save some millions. Also, there was a press briefing a couple of weeks ago with the solid waste and Ms. St. John and so on. They're talking about shipping the galvanized to Florida. St. Vincent is shipping to Trinidad. Why are we not shipping to Trinidad? What's the cost difference to go to Florida and Trinidad? So I don't know if they can adjust that or make us a statement towards that. And then how much houses have Andy Williams built the Build Back Better? A couple 3 weeks has passed already. Mr. Williams, where we at with these houses and them?
Well,
the 15 million.
That's an interesting thing because remember it is 200 houses under the bill, and these do not include the prefabricated houses that are being built. These are separate in number to those. So
exactly,
they said 200, and they specifically in the document that was presented at the point in time that they were seeking that 15 million from Parliament, they said that those were specifically for St. Mark. So St. Mark people, St. Patrick people, they are supposed to be able to tell us how many of the houses that they've gotten, because mainly it was supposed to be for those two areas. So I don't know
Well,
how
that's-
many are under construction or how much are completed. The minister did say these houses will be built taking 3 weeks to build one. So we heard
So
that from
September
him.
17th to November November 20th. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of 3 weeks past already. We should have some houses. So if you could go on one of your program and them and say what is built. You used to do a lot of live. I don't see no live. I don't see no update. I don't know. So he could give us an update on that. Like if they do 2, they do 3, they do it 1, or they ain't do no more. He could say, you know. But Grenadians, NNPites, NDCites, whoever you all be, get registered. All you want to change, all you support, get registered to vote. Apparently, we have a Donald Trump Jr. in Grenada down there that can say what he want and believe that it is okay. So, let me preach, all you be peaceful and make Grenadians a loving people. Let me keep it that way. And let me just move forward. Y'all register and let me get ready to vote. Y'all stay safe.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much for your call.
Have a good night.
All right. And indeed, and you see, the thing is this, I want to say this tonight. Yes, Anthony, too. We passing on Molyneux Road. Open Molyneux Road before Sunday, please. We want to pass on Molyneux Road to go rally. We need the road open. A lot of us. We ain't going all the way around. I'll promise it in November. We want to hear about it opening in December. Open it in November. Yeah? So complete what you have to complete now. We want the road open, so when we pass in to go and do a little patching in them other areas down. Yeah, patch and thing, right? Nice. We need it open for us to go about with business on Sunday. All right, nice. Yes, folks, 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers to call and get onto the inside. Now, folks, I think a lot of us losing focus. The job is to get rid of this incompetent government. Don't allow them to shift your conversation onto the NNP itself. Because while some people focusing on the NNP, these guys getting away with all the things that you've been hearing there. That they could go and call saying man, mother, getting stuff when they ain't getting. They're not even wrong. That they could go and do all the things that they have been doing and not doing. Because there are things that they should be doing that they're not doing. And things that they should not be doing that they're doing. The focus has to be on how we organize to remove this administration. Yeah, that has to be the focus at this point in time. Some people want you to focus on, oh, this person that, and that person that, and this person that. Focus. Focus. Do not lose focus. Because while they have you in their discussions, while they have you jumping up on their things, while they are doing that, and you are wondering now, well, what taking place with this, and what taking place with this? I hear this, and I hear that, and so on. They have people digitally going through the voters list. They have people calling people and doing their polls and so on to get the information that they need to try and see if they can get a second term in office. They are organizing their groups and so on. Don't buy that shoppiness with them with the selling out there that, oh, they disorganized. They are organizing. And whoever is organized when the next election comes around, whoever is organized is who is going to win. Do not allow them to throw you into their discussion and have you swimming in their pool of nonsense because you go drunk. Don't let it happen to you. Focus on the job at hand. I often speak here about the voters list and ensuring that you canvass the voters list. How many folks have taken the time to contact their constituency lead and say, here's what, I'm willing to be part of the process. I'm willing to help. Even if I'm just doing my polling division or my specific village or my street, How many of you have said, let me help to do the canvassing? The political work needs to be done. Let me repeat, the political work needs to be done. If election day comes, and remember, it is not the New National Party to call election, it is the government to call. And the Prime Minister could walk in front of Mike tonight, in the middle of the night, and call an election. He could do it tomorrow morning. He could just stand up and say, watch, I feel like calling an election now, and he can do it. Any point in time, he can do it. It is the responsibility of us in opposition to make sure that we are ready. So they've been asking about convention. We have a convention. The convention is coming. The 15th of December is convention day. Yeah? So those of you who are delegates and observers and so on, I hope that you already have your information in. You've spoken to your constituency leads. You are down as a delegate. You're down as an observer, whatever it is, for when the convention is taking place. Because they've already written their articles. I'm seeing who writing all kind of article and all kind of nonsense. They're writing their articles not because they know of anything happening, but they're trying to create a scenario where certain things happen. Let's understand what's taking place there. They're not writing from knowledge of anything that's taking place. They're writing from a place of, let us influence that or this to happen. So when you see some of the nonsense, like I saw several articles over the weekend, absolute garbage. Some of them, I didn't even finish read them, to be honest, just total chauvinist. But absolute garbage. When you see these things being peddled there and being peddled as though they're truth, you have to understand what they're trying to do. And some people, you can see what they say, you can see what they say, and they start to share it, and they're sharing it to this one and that one and all kind of thing, helping them get their message out there, their propaganda out there. So they continue to attack the political leader of the New National Party. They continue to attack the executive of the New National Party. You really think anybody in NDC wants to see anything positive for the NNP? You think they want to see the NNP organized and going strong into a general election? What they are trying to do is trying to create confusion. Do not allow them to get to that point where they're creating any confusion. Yeah? Just remind, anytime they start to talk, remind them of this simple fact. The position of political leader at each and every convention of the New National Party, at each and every one of the conventions of the New National Party, the position of political leader is open at every convention of the NNP. The NDC can't say that. Their constitution bars that from happening. But those are the ones that are talking about who is this and who is that and who dinging this and who. Do you really think that these people want to see anything positive for the NNP? Or do they want to continue with the set of traveling and all kind of thing and the massive salaries? Don't be surprised they increase their salary next year again. They'll say they're adjusting for inflation. So don't be surprised that next week, next month, or next year, you hear that they do a salary increase again. Because they just do not care. They just do not care. So we, as supporters of the New National Party, all are we, as supporters of the New National Party, do not lose focus. Do not lose focus. There is a job that has to be done. There are you and me, all of us together, who have to ensure that that job is done. All hands on deck. Nonsense every minute. Somebody, this one say, oh, they write an article, look, they say article here, an article there, all kind of thing. Remain focused. All right? So, folks, remember, it's happening this Saturday. We're going to be having the banquet that's taking place, an award ceremony that's going to be taking place at Pier 57 up there in Fontenoy. Is Fontenoy or Gramwell? Fontenoy, right here. That's going to be taking place up there, and then followed by the massive rally taking place on Sunday. So you have to contact your constituencies, please. Don't call me on Saturday morning asking me about bus for rally. I ain't going to answer my phone. I'm telling you straight, I ain't going to answer. don't call me on Saturday asking me about bus, because you have this whole week to call the main office or contact the constituency leads to find out about buses for Sunday, all right? So I know some people wait until Sunday itself and they're calling to find out, shall I have a bus from my area? I do not know. Contact your constituency leads or the main office of the New National Party. They'll tell you who you can speak to in relation to buses, because I don't know. I don't have that information. Yes, Saturday morning, some people call it Saturday morning. Shall I know about bus for tomorrow? You know, I don't know. They're calling you Sunday morning, so I'm calling you after 6 on Sunday morning. And they want to know about bus. Yes, I know you're excited. You want to go and everything. But I'm telling you now that there's enough time for you to contact the main office on 440-1875, 440-1876. There's enough time for you to be able to contact the office for you to find out about the buses for your particular area, or contact the individual constituent. I think everybody should know the constituency leads are by now, that you could contact, that you could get more information in relation to buses for Sunday. All right, folks? So, folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. As usual, we'll be back tomorrow night with more Talking Points for you. I think I may have a guest on with a period of time. I'm not sure they're going to make the whole night, but they'll be on with me partially tomorrow night. And yes, we do have the Friday night program this week. Yeah, we have the Friday night program this week. So, in everything you say, everything you do, do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'm out of here. Love each and every one of you.